So this week we've been looking at NFV appliances. These are appliances that move away from the traditional way we deploy sites, which have specialized appliances or specialized hardware for network functions, firewalls, load balancers, routers and switches. They were doing particular jobs and you'd buy specific hardware. NFV is, or NFVIS is the actual software itself. You get a standard appliance and you can have multiple network functions that operate on this hardware. So it introduces virtualization to network devices. Now, on a single hardware, you've got a firewall, load balancer. It basically decouples the hardware and software. So that's one of the benefits. So we've looked at these previously, and actually we're just actively looking at deploying them, testing them now. And I think I'm really excited about it because I think this is definitely one of the ways people are going to reduce hardware footprint on their sites. It's going to introduce agility for deployments, introduces orchestration, a great way of introducing orchestration and management. I'm really I think this is something that is going to be beneficial to a lot of clients. So I'm happy to be involved in it, see how well these do for some of the clients. So one of the key areas I think NFV's where it's going to help us is where you've got remote sites and you wanted to introduce a new appliance or capability. You had to have a team go out there and replace it, cabling, all of those things. Now what NFV does is, if you've got a specific firewall vendor on a device, or you've got a specific SD-WAN vendor on it, and you want to either test it or you want to replace it, it's a case of just provisioning it, removing the other one, and just introducing the new one through software. There's not much physical requirement, so it makes it a lot more flexible. You've introduced agility into the way you operate. So I mean, I made it sound simple, but it is basically taking a lot of that hard work out of it. So I think that's going to be a key benefit going forward. So yeah, it does. It's going to change things for a lot of places.
NFV Part 2. So what NFV isn't, it's not a completely new concept. It's basically adopting a similar approach to virtualizing servers, which over the past few years, we've seen some significant development in. Is it a mature product? Well, ETSI, who are recognized European standards body, they've overseen over the last few years the development lifecycle of NFV adoption, and they've produced some standards for it. But what I want to make clear is it's not a Nirvana technology inspiration, but I would say it's worthwhile function for teams to adopt and add to their capability catalogue. One of the other things that's important to point out is it's vendor agnostic. So to keep a team flexible, I think it's a major plus point. So where does NFV provide you the most value? Well, reducing cost is one of them. So imagine all your network functions, you can now run those on software, non-vendor specific hardware. Reducing your hardware footprint is going to introduce space and environmental savings, which is going to have a direct correlation to cost savings. But also managing less hardware, it reduces your operational overhead. So that's a benefit from, providing less pressure also on your operational teams. So the next point is being able to reduce logistical and resource effort. It's going to allow teams to be more agile and flexible when carrying out deployments and lifecycle refreshes, for example. Network teams have always been quite close to infrastructure, and that's been a significant part of time it takes to actually carry out a deployment. However, being able to decouple the two, that is from the physical part, we're going to be more efficient and more agile, and so quicker to turn around deployments, which is going to be a major benefit. So another important factor is maintaining visibility, or the ability to maintain visibility. When you've deployed across different CSPs, the question always comes up is, can we maintain visibility? Do they give you the capability to offload the same type of traffic to your tool sets? Now, with NFV, with the ability to stitch together underlying paths, I think it allows you the control for that. You can adopt the traditional methods or your bespoke methods, whichever you want, without compromise. And that's a big factor for me, having that control and maintaining visibility when you're building infrastructure. So in summary, NFV is going to allow you to reduce costs, It's going to allow you to reduce the amount of logistical challenges you have when you're deploying. It is going to maintain capability, but allow your teams to be more flexible and agile when they're doing deployments. But one thing, it's important to note that it's not a Nirvana type technology. It will be an enhancement, and so you should consider adding it to your capability catalogue. But I think it's a worthwhile technology to look at, or at least investigate more into.